Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week.
The Hazleton area varsity cheerleaders held a showcase event on Sunday in preparation for the National High School Cheerleading Championship. Head coach Tiffany Yerish said the team will be traveling to Orlando, Florida this week to compete at Nationals for the third year in a row.
It's our 4th district title consecutively, which is incredible. That's unprecedented to be able to continue to win at districts against all the best teams in your area. But also, I've been back now for 3 years. I coached in the early 2000s, took a break, and now I'm back, and all 3 years we have made it to Florida, which is unbelievable. It's just a testament to the kids and their hard work and the incredible coaching staff that we have. We set a goal from day one. They actually do a vision board, and 90% of those goals have nationals in them. So they just stuck to it, and I believe what you put out is what you get back. We manifested it, and we're going again.
Yerish said the team has been preparing for nationals since May.
We are a 10-month season, which is the longest season of any of the sports. We start preparing right in May after tryouts, and we go all season, all summer, all winter, all fall. We compete up to 15 times to continue to get a score sheet, and every time we take that score sheet back and try to improve on what was put out there, because we are a judged sport, so we want to take those opinions and really learn how to improve from there. We also do a lot of conditioning. We actually utilize our weight room. We have an amazing coach, Coach Mack, who does our strength and conditioning, and she's incredible with the teams. And so she has trained them up until we started competing, and then we continue conditioning through the season. Something also is every day that we're not together, the girls have to send me a workout, and they send it via video, and they do that workout every day. It's part of their process, so we have never stopped.
To qualify for nationals, Yerish said the team had to receive a bid at one UCA regional competition. However, Yerish said the team didn't stop there and ended up receiving bids at 3 different regional competitions. Senior Kaylee Shimani said the hard work pays off when they improve on the mat.
So it's a lot in the beginning, a lot of full outs, a lot of running the routine like over and over again just to make sure that the mistakes don't happen at this level of competition. And it's just trusting our technique, trusting our talent and our skills, and just hoping that what we do at practice shows on the mat at competition.
At the national competition, the Hazleton team will be performing their traditional routine and their game day routine. Shimei said one of her favorite parts of the season is the bond that forms between the team players.
I would just say just the bond we've created with this team, it's unlike anything that we've ever been a part of. So we've just been doing everything together and thriving together, and it's definitely helped us stay positive and have a better season than ever before.
Senior Gabriella Kundra said one of the ways the team bonded was through journaling exercises at practice.
Journaling brought us closer together because we would come in together and everybody would say, like, Tiffany would give us like something to answer for the day, and we'd go around the circle and everybody would answer like the question or whatever and put it in the journal.
Senior Erica Salco said placing at states has also helped motivate the team going forward.
We just got done at states, we're top 10 in the state, so getting that feeling is really helping us lead up to nationals and knowing we could compete with all the big teams.
The Hazleton cheerleaders will leave for nationals on Wednesday, February 5th. The team's first round of performances at the national competition will be streamed on varsity TV on Friday, September 6th at noon and at 8:55 p.m. in the evening. The team will return to Pennsylvania on Monday, February 10th. The Greater Hazleton Area YMCA reopened its doors this weekend after being closed for more than 5 years. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held on Friday to celebrate the opening of the YMCA's Early Education Center. The opening of the center marks the completion of Step 1 in the building's renovation plan, which will continue with plans to reopen the facility's gymnasium and pool. Officials say the reopening of the facility was made possible through donations from businesses, government grants, and efforts by volunteer board members. The ribbon cutting was followed by an open house on Saturday for interested families. Officials say the hope is that the Early Education Center will provide child care to 75 children from infants to 5-year-olds during the first phase of the reopening. The child care program is tentatively scheduled to begin on the first week of March.
PennDOT has announced an upcoming Real ID Day in Hazleton. The event will take place at the Hazleton Driver License Center on Monday, February 10th. During the event, staff will be on hand from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to help residents apply for a Real ID. Getting a Real ID remains optional in Pennsylvania. However, a Real ID or other form of federally acceptable identification, such as a passport, will soon be necessary to board domestic commercial flights, visit a military base, or enter certain federal facilities. PennDOT officials say the event will help ensure customers in the Hazleton area are able to obtain a Real ID prior to the May 7th enforcement deadline. To obtain a Real ID, residents are required to show proof of identity, such as an original birth certificate, show proof of Social Security number, such as a Social Security card or W-2 form, show 2 proofs of current physical Pennsylvania address, such as an unexpired driver's license, vehicle registration, or utility bill, and show proof of all legal name changes. For additional information, you can visit pa.gov and search Real ID.
Governor Josh Shapiro presented his 2025 to 2026 budget proposal to the General Assembly and Pennsylvania public on Tuesday. In his address, the governor addressed several key issues in the Commonwealth and urged legislators to work together and to find common-sense solutions.
So here's what I want us to do together. Ensure we've got good schools for our kids in every zip code, grow our economy and cut costs for people in rural, urban, and suburban communities, slash taxes and spur economic growth, make healthcare and energy accessible and affordable for all Pennsylvanians, ensure our kids can walk down the street safely, stop giving our neighboring states a competitive advantage. These are common sense Pennsylvania priorities that I know we all share. I recognize some may have a different approach to these objectives, but we've got to work at it together.
The governor's proposed budget places special emphasis on workforce development, education, healthcare, and making Pennsylvania more competitive. Shapiro also addressed work being done in the Commonwealth to cut red tape and ensure efficiency in government programs.
We are reforming our government to finally move at the speed of business. We took a hard look at our permitting, licensing, and certification processes, and we slashed wait times. We cleared backlogs, and we fixed systems that hadn't been looked at in years. Now it takes just 3 days to get a business license instead of 8 weeks. You can get a new barber license same day instead of waiting 12. Look, time is money. Time is money. And we've got now a permit fast-track process for major economic development projects like Bellwether in South Philly and Project Hazelnut in Hazleton. We now have a money-back guarantee making sure permits get processed on time. And hear me on this. Since that guarantee went into effect 15 months ago, we have only had to process 4 refunds out of millions of permits. Our team in the Commonwealth is doing a great job.
Shapiro's proposed budget totals $51.47 billion and includes a $3.57 billion increase in spending. The proposed budget does not raise taxes, but will utilize the Commonwealth's $2.89 billion budget surplus and take funding from the state's rainy day fund. The House Appropriations Committee will begin conducting a series of public hearings to evaluate the proposed budget on Tuesday, February 18th. At the conclusion of the hearings, the General Assembly will then return to session and begin to work on the budget. The General Assembly and the Governor have a deadline of June 30th to finalize the completed budget. For additional information regarding the proposed budget, you can visit shapirobudget.pa.gov.
Coming up on WYLN News, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Port Carbon, Part 4. Plus, we check in with State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's weekly update. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's only nationally ranked hospital. We turn setbacks into comebacks one movement at a time. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho or 833-LV-ORTHO.
My name's Haley. I'm 4. And the weather tomorrow is going to be snowy.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. For many years, Dr. John Dagenhart has been a beacon of hope and healing in the Hazleton community. As the founder of Dagenhart Chiropractic Health Center, he has dedicated his life to improving the well-being of countless individuals through chiropractic care. In this special episode of Let's Talk Chiropractic, we will revisit the inspiring stories of several of Dr. John's patients whose lives have been transformed under his care. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
As the 1920s dawned, motion pictures were entering their first golden age. Almost every town in the nation would have at least one theater of their own for residents to escape to the movies at. In Port Carbon, escape would come via the Ritz Theater, which opened in the early part of the 1920s. Located at First and Washington Streets, it seated 400 patrons. The Ritz continued to show movies through the late 1950s. Afterwards, it was converted into the Angeles Sportswear Factory, joining countless other similar textile factories in town. The building burned down on February 24, 1974, the victim of a presumed arson strike. Many notable businesses would rise in Port Carbon throughout the decades of the 20th century. Harold Bensinger would start a plumbing business in 1917. What is now Bensinger & Sons Plumbing and Heating is currently the longest operating business in Port Carbon. Other entrepreneurs followed Henry L. Miller's lead and took up manufacturing. Among the factories that operated at one point or another were the Port Carbon Machine Works and Mirrorwall Aluminum, which would provide panels and tiles for Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands, as well as for housing developments in South America. Construction companies would also thrive, among them the Baisley Construction Company and Lynn Construction Company. John L. Conrad & Sons Lumber, Penn Equipment, and Liberty Oil are also business names that are familiar to Port Carbon residents. Amusement parks had taken root across America by the 1920s. Port Carbon residents will get their own amusement park at this time with the opening of Dream City Park just east of town. Located right beside the trolley tracks, and for a time known also as Schuylkill Park, Dream City Park's feature attraction was its roller coaster, the Dips. Among its other attractions were a carousel, an airplane ride, and kiddie swings. In addition, the park also had a pool on its grounds and a dance hall that hosted many dance marathons during the park's heyday. It is not precisely clear when Dream City Park closed, although it appears to have been shuttered around 1940. Today, a tree-lined field stands on the property, bearing silent witness to the fun that once took place at Dream City Park. The park did live on a name for some years afterwards, though, when the Dream City Diner operated across Route 209 from the property. And the 1930s would see the establishment of Soldiers Memorial High School in town. Before this point, Port Carbon students would have 9th through 11th grade in town, then serve their senior year at Pottsville High School. With the graduation of the first class in 1932, the high school, located on Cherry Street, would serve Port Carbon for all 4 years of high school. This would be the case for 24 years, until the Port Carbon School Board decided to join the wave of jointures taking place in Pennsylvania at this time, which was merging numerous small-town high schools together. The class of 1955 would be the last one to go entirely to high school in Port Carbon. The following year, the school was merged into the Pottsville Area High School. The elementary school, which was located next to the high school, continued to serve the community for several decades afterwards, but this too ended in 1982, when it was merged into Pottsville area's John S. Clark Elementary School.
Welcome back to Feel Good Friday. I'm joined here with Dr. John. Dr. John, how's it going?
Hey, Ryan, every day to me is a blessing.
It really is. And we're near the end of January, and you know, a lot of people have their New Year's resolutions. We gave them tips on how to stick with it, but what happens if you haven't picked one yet?
I think a lot of people, you know, they're so afraid of failure. They picked resolutions in the past, they didn't do them, so they feel even twice as bad. But to me, a resolution now near the end of the month might be, how do you exercise? And Ryan, the attitude is important. If someone says to me, I am a warrior, no matter what, I walk outdoors when it's nice, I walk up the mall when it's cold and icy, or I bought a treadmill, and I wrote down my goals and I walk every day, that's the warrior. Other people, well, the weather's not good, the mall's crowded, they have this wimpier attitude, so I challenge you, be a warrior. Make a goal, stick to it, be strong with yourself, exercise a little bit every day. And Ryan, those are the patients who feel happier about themselves, they get a motivation, and they have a much beautiful day.
Yep, it adds up and pays off in the end. I'd like to thank Dr. John for joining us on this Feel Good Friday. We'll see you next time.
You will love the feel-good feeling you get when you shop at Grand Central in Nescopeck and Hazleton. You will enjoy a no-pressure professional sales staff, experienced delivery crew, service after the sale,
and don't forget, everyday low prices.
No matter what you're shopping for in your home, we have you covered with top brand names like Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, England, and Dillon Custom Rugs.
With our enormous selection and the flexibility to finance interest-free for up to 60 months, Grand Central makes it easy to make your house a home.
Express Care. Walk in and you walk into the region's most trusted health network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Hello, this is State Representative Dane Watrow of the 116th Legislative District with some news you can use. The deadline for enforcement of the Federal Real ID Act is fast approaching. As of May 7th, you will have to present a federally accepted form of identification to board a commercial domestic flight or visit a secure federal building that requires ID at the door. Federally accepted forms of identification include a Pennsylvania's Real ID driver's license or ID card, a U.S. passport or passport card, or a military ID. While all Pennsylvanians must comply with the new law, obtaining a state-issued Real ID is not mandatory. PennDOT will continue to offer standard-issued driver's licenses and photo IDs. Full enforcement of the law has been delayed several times due to COVID-19 pandemic, which was hindering efforts to process Real ID applications across the country. To learn more about Real ID and how to obtain one, visit penndot.gov/Real ID. Thank you.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on Wyln TV 35.
Are you looking for a trustworthy publishing company to publish your book? One that understands the process and upholds Christian values in its business practices?
Introducing Covenant Books, an author-friendly publisher who shares your beliefs and wants to publish your story. Call us today to get a free author packet to help get you started.
We realize your book is unique, personal, and written with a higher purpose. That's the content we're looking for.
We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process with professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the industry.
Covenant distributes and sells your book online and in bookstores everywhere. We convert your book in ebook format and sell it on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and to these distributors. Our authors love us.
So if you've written a biography, a devotional, a memoir, self-help, or any genre, we can help. Be like these authors and get your book published and sold today.
Call right now for your free writer's guide.
1-800-215-3680.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
You're watching WYLN TV 35,